Our next bout of the evening is a mixed martial arts bout. It is a catchweight at 200 pounds, brought to you by the Valor Hour. First, please welcome to the cage, Bailey Cooper.
And there you hear it. You almost would think that the No Mercy team was right here in the Tri-Cities, but it's not. It's over in Union, South Carolina. And when you walk out to some DMX, you're always ready to fight. This is Bailey Cooper making his debut here tonight. Another fighter Paul Teague has talked a lot about. He's long, he's tall, he's lanky. It is a 200-pound catch-weight fight. A guy who may have a future at 185, and he would be a force in that middleweight division with his height. But tonight, scheduled to fight Paul Denton, who took the fight on short notice for a fighter who pulled out just about 48 hours ago. Paul Denton is not here. Therefore, stepping up is going to be a veteran of the fight game in Chris Buttry. So you go from fighting a veteran in Billy Combs, so he was already prepared to fight a good fighter. He then steps up and fights a debut, and now instead will fight a very talented fighter in Chris Buttry.
Absolutely, man. Bailey Cooper, big and tall, and he had like 3 opponents drop out on him leading up to this. But, man, and you can look at him, you can tell, man, he is very, very long and lanky. Chris Buttry's long and lanky, too, though.
Yes. A little bit of a size advantage for Cooper, as Buttry usually fights around that 185 range. Buttry's even when it's far down as close to 170. Not sure if he's ever officially made 170, but he's been down in that range. Buttry taking this fight on no count. This is a few-hour notice, but nonetheless, both guys ready to fight here at Bar Battles. What it's all about. Back to the cage. Jennifer Oxnine will introduce our next fighter.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, please welcome Chris Buttry.
And if you took a look at any online fight cards, you didn't see Chris Buttry's name. That's because Buttry came tonight prepared to fight, and just like that, it's what it's all about. Guys coming here, they're ready to fight. Buttry stepping up on short notice, and it's definitely stepping up. That's a big guy in there that we really don't know much about.
Well, we saw Chris Buttry back at VFW Fight Nights with a heartfelt victory over Christian Cottle. He was in deep waters there in the early goings of that fight. He came back with the armbar submission in round 2. And now he returns a month later for his second Bar Battles outing. And this guy he's got in front of him, Bailey Cooper, is a giant. A giant. Look at him, dude. He is just like looming over the top rail of the cage.
No jumping stuff. The ceiling's really close.
No, don't do it. That drop ceiling is not going to hold here. We are at the Electric Cowboy in Johnson City, Tennessee. Cage fights at the Cowboy. What Bar Battles is all about, you know, it's about really great fights, but it's also about having a good time. I want everybody to have a good time about the fights. You see guys go to the UFC and to Bellator and to all these big shows, and of course Valor Fights has put so many people into those big spots. But tonight, it's time to dial it back a little bit and see these guys coming up the ladder and have a good time doing it.
And hey, for some of these guys, this is where it all starts for them here tonight. 2 guys who look to get it going, Bailey Cooper and Chris Buttry. For your official fighter introduction, we send it to the cage and Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Intimate Treasures red corner, he weighed in at 193 pounds, represents No Mercy MMA and Goon Squad in Union, South Carolina. And tonight he is making his MMA debut, Bailey the X-Man Cooper. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the TSI Diesel blue corner. He weighed in at 200 pounds, holds an undefeated record of 3 wins with 0 losses, and represents local legends and Temple Boxing in Morristown, Tennessee, Chris Buttry. Your referee when the action begins is Jason King.
A big step up here for Buttry, not in terms of the opponent, but just taking a fight like this on short notice with that undefeated record. Buttry undersized for this 200-pound fight, but he does have the experience advantage. We are off and running. Cody Gwynn, Casey Oxnine, and quick there. Buttry quickly on top after that low kick.
Wow, Bailey Cooper up kicking here. Buttry all over him.
You know, those long legs, you got to watch for any submissions from Cooper. Nice pass from Buttry.
Cooper back up here.
He's trying to get back to his feet. Got to watch the guillotine. Not really a guillotine position. He tries to take it back down.
Yeah.
There's some strength in that size as well from
yeah,
Cooper.
Bailey Cooper held off that that barrage, but now it looks like Buttry has the guillotine in place, delivering those knees.
He's going for that wrist lock guillotine as well. He's trying to turn the head, but with the bigger opponent, he's going to have to try to lift him off the ground. That's going to be hard to do with a guy who's at least 6'6" in there.
Yeah, well, the land of the giants here at Cage Fights at the Cowboy.
Jason King watching the action closely to look for a tap. Again, though, that size is big. I don't know if Buttry's ever trained with someone taller than him, because Buttry is a big guy.
Yeah, I've never seen him in the cage against anyone that big.
Oh, what a takedown.
Wow! Look at this!
A big scramble, but Buttry ends up on top. Short notice, less than 2 hours, and Chris Buttry in control now in half guard with Bailey Cooper. What a
so
throw.
Much excitement here from these two giants.
And Buttry in full mount, and he's going to drop some bombs. That cage not going to help Cooper in this position. Jason King keeps a close eye here on the action. Takes it back.
Here we go.
He's trying to hold on. No hooks, though, for Buttry. He's actually, Cooper could really just stand up here if he wanted. No hooks.
Yeah.
He's got the arm.
Oh, here we go. Bailey Cooper gets him off of it.
Beautiful.
Back to the feet.
Beautiful move there for Cooper. Not something you see debut guys do. That was nice.
No, not at all. And I will say this, Chris Buttry is having to exhibit a tremendous work rate here. And Bailey Cooper has been very, very game. Buttry has to watch burning his load right here.
And Buttry, an 85 guy, maybe even 75, stepping up here on short notice against a guy who's just under 200 pounds and a solid 6'6", looking like a good power forward here.
And it's that size, man. It's that height. I think he got him low.
There, yep, and Jason King, I don't know if he's seen it, but he is calling a time in the action. I think everyone here might need this to catch their breath.
Yeah, including myself.
What a first round so far. Breaking the action here after the unintentional low blow from Buttry. Buttry calming down here. What a fight. And that's back-to-back fights now where the action is just too hot to handle, too hot to call here. Both guys in both these last two fights going at it here. Buttry, and again, you got to wonder how the fight stamina is. He just had a big fight not too long ago, but some guys, they take little breaks after their fights.
Right,
you got to wonder.
And if he's been on the couch thinking, hey, this is a debut, he's going to have an easy walk. If he overextends himself, he could be in trouble.
And surprise, here's you a 6'6" guy who weighs about
big
200
shots
pounds.
by
Nice
Bailey
long
Cooper.
shots.
Another
one.
Shot.
Shoots in for the takedown. He got him up in the air, but a nice sprawl from Cooper. Back up, though. Buttry's going to have to get a little bit lower there if he wants to pick him up like he did earlier. Right there, though, it's going to be hard to take a guy that tall down from the body lock.
Yeah, and Buttry, he really exhibiting a different style than you typically see out of him. He is more of the ground and pounder type guy. He took some hard shots from Bailey Cooper. This is turning into a war, Cody.
And Cooper with that long reach, that jab across, going to be deadly. Tries a little trip. He ends up getting Buttry against the cage. He's going to try that little toss again.
Wow, and he finishes with a takedown.
Wow.
Could he steal it?
Wow.
We have ourselves a battle.
What a first round between Bailey Cooper and Chris Buttry. Not sure how you score that round. Buttry came out fast early. He was in full mount. He took the back. But what heart from Cooper to not just get back up, but land some big shots of his own.
Yeah, he's very much in this fight. Now, you saw Buttry weather the storm of Christian Connell in his last fight and then come back in the second. Now, it's been a completely different scenario here. This time, Buttry has really pushed the pace here, looking for a finish early against a guy maybe he didn't expect to come out with such fire. And now, he might find himself in dire straits. He's going to have to really dig deep. And you've got another kid in Bailey Cooper who is a star of the future, regardless of what happens from here forth in this fight.
Yeah. And you got to wonder about both guys' gas tanks. You got a guy who's a debut. You never know how you act in a fight like this. And with Buttry, you got a guy, we don't know what he's been doing for the last few weeks. Has he been training? Has he been working with his teammates? Did he maybe take some time off to recover? He was in an absolute battle his last fight. There's no brawl, taking a little time to recover. And here you are in a brawl here without, 2-hour notice.
And that all that being said, I think Buttry won that first round, undoubtedly. He spent a lot more time on top. Bailey had his moments, but again, Chris Buttry, I think he took it. But that being said, rounds 2 and 3 are going to be crucial here.
And we'll see if we see a little bit more of the stand-up here. The much rangier Bailey Cooper had a little success with some jabs and crosses towards the end of that first round. And Buttry was a little bit stunned by some of those shots as well. Body kick leaning into a cross, and here we're back into the clinch. And I like this position for Cooper because it's going to be hard to take a guy that tall down with that headlock.
Oh, nice dirty boxing shot there by Buttry. Bailey Cooper.
Buttry does have that Muay Thai background. He's one of those guys that started out in the kickboxing game. Ooh, spinning back fist was just off from Bailey Cooper. He thought about a spin kick, though. Out of range is Buttry. Buttry, a little trickle of blood in the nose from some of those jabs from Cooper. He steps in. He's using that kick as a lead to the cross. Buttry shoots in. Big takedown and a long sprawl here from Cooper. Gotta watch the guillotine from Cooper. Buttry's got wrist control here to avoid the guillotine, because you got to watch the guillotines with guys this tall, because it won't take much to lift Buttry off the ground.
No, go for the single, Chris.
Buttry may be running out of gas here. It takes a lot of energy for some of those takedowns he had in that first round.
Free up that arm. Yes.
Trying the single leg here. He's going to have to pull it out. Elbows here to the body. He tried again. That range is really hard to take down.
Landing those
that one works. He ends
now
up on
Buttry
top.
back on top.
And let's see here what Buttry can do from the full guard. For Bailey Cooper, he's right here in front of us against the cage.
These giants right in our face here. We're seeing it firsthand. What a war we've seen thus far.
Got to watch the wrist control here from Cooper. He might try to set up a triangle or armbar. He's got both wrists in control here. He's working one arm down.
The veteran, Chris Buttry, against the newcomer, Bailey Cooper, who has really proven.
Those landed. Some of those were clean on Cooper. Good position here. He might be trying to pass or try to go in that up position. Got to watch the up kicks now that Buttry is.
Triangle.
The triangle's locked in now. He's got to pull that across his shoulder here. Buttry has got to watch this position. Buttry still up high here.
Tough spot here. He's not as deep as he could be.
Buttry still trying to
But
strike out.
those are some long legs.
Yeah, they are. And it'll be hard to lift a guy that big up, especially here late second round. You know both guys are tired. Little blood
He's tightening
here.
that triangle. Butry's going to have to bridge up. He's going to have to posture up.
The cage here might be the only thing saving Buttry right now. We got to watch out for the switch to the armbar here. Now he moves
That's
away from the
tighter.
cage. This is dangerous. It's a mountain.
That is very tight.
He's out.
And he's out.
Wow. He ends
Now
up on
Bailey
top,
Cooper
though.
coming on.
What a round. I would think, oh, he misses a big punch there to Buttry. Didn't even hear the clicker. What another great round. Cooper had a triangle. I thought it might be over when he rolled to the mount.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that was really, really deep. Buttry is really, really tired, it appears. Bailey Cooper came out the end. That was a hard one to call. I mean, Buttry did get that takedown, but Bailey was really in control a lot there in that round.
I'd say that might be the closest we've seen to a finish in that triangle. You got to wonder how the judges see that, ended up with that. You also got to wonder, though, how they see Buttry getting right back up from that position. Buttry was on top, as you said, landed some nice punches right here. It's been a great fight. Both guys in their corner, I'm sure they're uneasy feeling about a decision.
Yeah, I think so. And, I mean, that second round, I think the biggest thing, though, is that Chris Buttry, he's going to have to make sure that his wheels are underneath him moving into this third round. This Bailey Cooper kid, he is very long, lanky, and dangerous.
And with the takedown attempts, that exerts more energy than anything. Strikes, kicks, anything. Trying to pick a guy who's 200 pounds up over your head and take him down, not to mention 200 pounds and about 6'6", 6'7" here. Barely able to fit in this building in the cage. Here at Cage Fights at the Cowboy, third and final round in what has been an absolute brawl. It is Bailey Cooper and Chris Buttry. You want to talk about bar brawls, you got one here tonight. And Jason King will clean up the cage because these guys have been about everywhere so far.
You heard the corner of Chris Buttry saying, you've got to win the round.
So they had that same feeling. And knowing Paul Teague, I mean, me and Paul talked earlier, you know, you don't want to go to a decision. They might have the fan base, but the judges here, you know, they've seen Buttry. So that's always a factor here, how the fights play out. Buttry on short notice has been on top more in this fight as well. Nice kick. Would like to see more of that from Buttry, the low kicks.
Yeah, those are very, very solid. That's what he is known for. Really, that's probably the first low kick we've seen out of Chris Buttry.
Agreed. And I think that's a game plan he should work on.
That's
nice
a big
punches.
shot.
Yeah, it was.
Bailey Cooper starting to find his mark.
He leans in with the cross, unsuccessful. He leads in with that body kick. Nice clinch work here from both guys. And Cooper is built more like a Thai fighter than Buttry is, but Buttry's got more of the Thai experience. and now up against the cage, a place we've seen a few times. And if you're Bailey Cooper, although you think, hey, I got control of the head, I got control of the wrist, I'm okay, but this in the judges' eyes, not a good place to be.
Not at all, not at all. And again, Bailey Cooper is so fresh, though, it appears, to be a debut.
He gets away from the cage. Sure, he's going to try to take down. Wow.
Almost there. He was unable to control the outside arm, so he's hitting that Uchimata. He's not quite able to finish.
And that's a neat little trick there. He got his back.
Looking to sink the hooks. He got to the back. I thought it was going to be the hooks. Now he's just opening up on Buttry.
This is a good place to be, especially in
He's
terms
a
of
little
the
high,
judge.
though.
He rolls him.
Wait a minute.
That's pretty.
He's got the choke
Can
in.
he lock it in? That's it.
That's it.
What a win
Bailey
for Bailey
Cooper shocks
Cooper.
it. He shocks the Electric Cowboy.
Oh, and please, son, don't jump on the fence. You don't fit. Don't pick him up neither. What a victory for Bailey Cooper.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Some tight moments in that fight for Cooper. He was in trouble. He was mounted. He was getting absolutely laid into. Then he pulled out, got back on top, landed some nice shots. What a fight. What a victory. And one of the hardest, quickest 1-0s you're going to see. And what a victory. And if you're Chris Buttry, you don't hang your head. You took that fight on maybe 2-hour notice against a guy you knew nothing about, and you put on an amazing fight for the fans. Really hope Chris Buttry does not get down on that. Anytime any fighter takes a fight on short notice, that's a victory in my book. What a performance, what a fight, what a bar battle here at Cage Fights at the Cowboy. We send it to the cage. Jennifer Oxenine with your official decision.
Your referee stops this fight at 1 minute and 34 seconds into the third round. For your winner by way of rear naked choke submission, out of the Intimate Treasures red corner, Bailey the X-Man Cooper.
What a fight, maybe the best fight of the night. And if Bailey Cooper has energy left, he's gonna talk to our Casey Oxendine.
Bailey. Bailey, let's get a word real quick, man. You had 3 opponents over the course of the last 2 weeks fall out. Chris Buttry steps up on a moment's notice and gets in here to fight. You're quite possibly the longest, tallest, biggest opponent we've ever seen with Chris Buttry. Hard to get opponents for you, but you're just a debut. But man, you really proved yourself here. You're on another level for your first fight. All the natural gifts, but obviously you've been training hard. Talk about it.
Well, I mean, it don't really matter who I was fighting. I know how hard I worked, how hard my trainer coached me, how hard we all did conditioning. So it didn't matter who I fought, I was ready.
All right, well, that's 1-0, man. You get your hands raised for the first time. What's next? When are we going to see you back in the cage? You're going to turn around? Hey, maybe could we possibly see you in Little River, in Myrtle Beach, October 7th?
We going to Myrtle Beach. And I know this is my first fight, but the one who I want at Myrtle Beach is Billy Combs.
Billy Combs. All right, one more time for your winner tonight, Bailey Cooper.